Welcome back to another episode of The Funny Please, where you have the right to remain laughing. I'm your host, Ashley Ryan, and this is your other host.
Hi, I'm Ethan Filler, but I died 50 years ago in this house.
Alrighty, this is a flat, but we also have our special guest here today joining us, comedian and very talented. I don't know if you do anything else, but
I don't.
Introduce
it's
yourself.
Just this.
Glassblower.
I did do glass blowing when I was younger. My name is Sunny Laprade.
Laprade.
I'm a girl and I'm funny and I'm cute.
And those
too.
two things don't usually happen.
Yeah, it's a rare combo.
Yeah.
So today we are going to be talking about influencer evangelists.
Boo.
Yeah. With every episode, we always decide whether or not we think the topic is funny at the end, so stay tuned for that. But basically what an influencer evangelist is, it's like the new form of televangelist, and it's people that go on social media and try to recruit you to their religion.
And it works every time.
So like before we dive into that topic and why we're doing this, let's all like set the tone. So
All right.
Ethan, what are you religious? Or do you have a religious background? Yeah.
So my background was I was raised Jewish, but in an extremely reform synagogue. We had a lesbian rabbi. She had a wife and 10 adopted children. My family eats bacon and shellfish and all that stuff. They don't have any problem with being gay or anything. I think we're only Jewish out of like stubbornness. Like they're like, well, we started going to temple, so we're not going to goddamn stop now. Like I'm not from a very religious background, but my background is in Judaism.
Okay, awesome. Yay, Jewish people.
I
don't know what to say.
that sounded
Don't cancel me.
that sounded like sarcastic.
That sounds like someone who like really hates Jewish people walking into a room with
I'm
Jewish
just
people.
honestly, I'm so afraid of
Yay.
saying anything about like Israel or Palestine right now. I'm
No
just
one brought that
Yay,
up.
everybody, I love you.
No one brought. Okay, free Palestine.
Free Palestine. I'm agnostic. I was raised agnostic.
What is agnostic for people that don't have
It's
vocabulary?
like being an atheist but without balls.
It's diet atheism.
Yeah, it's diet atheist.
It's
You're just like, I don't care.
I'm smart enough to believe that I'm too stupid to know what's happening.
It's
And
like-
that's my stance.
It's like I have a side of it like, I don't really believe in God unless, like quite like,
Yeah.
I mean, if God wants to like come to me.
Right. Like I don't believe in God, but I don't not believe in God enough to tell other people what to do, I think after you die it's nothing, and I find
Nothing.
great comfort in that.
I think
Nothing but your future Netflix recording.
But right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, so my religion, I grew up Christian. I was part of the Lutheran church. I was a missionary, and I went to third world countries like Peru, Guatemala.
She was a missionary. Now she
Mexico.
does doggy style. High five, Sonny. Come
And
on.
I grew up religious. I no longer identify as like a religion. I have a lot of other views that we can't possibly fit into this episode. But
Mostly about
yeah,
race realism.
I'll be like representing the
We'll talk about it later.
oh yeah, about Jesus being white and how he wasn't actually white. Yeah, okay. But anyway, I'm representing the Christian background.
Yeah.
We got
Team Christianity.
Jewish people, and then we got
Nothing.
undecided.
I got nothing.
Yeah,
Which
no
is most of
team.
America.
Well, why are we talking about religion? The reason why we're talking about these influencer evangelists today is because I don't know if this was a joke that someone was trying to do, or if someone from my previous like super Christian background was trying to help me. But someone signed me up for these like religious texts from like an influencer evangelist to watch his YouTube page. But they were very passive aggressive, like trying to target me like I was struggling. They're like, oh, we're all struggling financially right now, but if you
That's what
follow
the churches
Jesus,
do.
like we'll help you lead the way to financial freedom and success. And I'm like, wait a minute. So Jesus is going to help me get a Birkin? Like, because maybe I will convert if that's the truth. Like, I don't know. Is Jesus like
He doesn't
the
even
new
wear
sugar
designer.
daddy?
He wears sandals.
But
Gross.
but yeah, I just thought it was really interesting. I was like, wait, is someone doing this as a joke? Like,
Sometimes they also just get your phone number.
No, but they like knew my name. They're like, "Hey, Ashley."
Yeah,
like,
someone signed you up for
sometimes people
that.
do-
Someone
Yeah,
signed you up
but
for
I'm
that.
like,
If
I'm
your
wondering
information got
if it's a
leaked.
joke or if it's like a passive aggressive.
I think it's aggressive.
Aggressive.
I think someone shitty signed you up for that
Uh-huh.
to try and put you on the path of
Yeah, Christ.
being
Of watching this
being,
YouTube channel to
being
find
a man
Jesus.
again. Yeah, that's what they do to me sometimes.
Well, this one wasn't about like me sinning. It was like all the texts were like targeting financially struggling people.
It's a passive
or
aggressive.
just people that are sad.
Yeah, somebody
For the
from your
record-
credit card company signed you up passive aggressively.
Not to beat a dead horse, but I'm looking around the apartment we're in, and you don't need to worry about.
Your finance.
Your
Yeah,
finance.
I'm like, okay, Jeff Koons sculpture and the thing. We got the.
Wait, that's
very
not
nice.
that's not even real. That's just like
These are
a
very
Palm
nice
Springs
steel
picture.
knives. I shouldn't be holding them, but I am. Yeah, I think also sometimes your information, like I get bank scams with my name in it.
So this is a scam. Jesus is a scam. Is what
Jesus,
you're saying.
all of Christianity is a scam.
Hey-oh.
I also did like click on the link just because I wanted to see who this person
Yeah.
was. And they're like very tanned, like very good looking man, like influencer
That's how they
evangelist.
get you. That's
And
how
I-
they get
yeah.
you.
You know he is sucking dick when that camera shuts off.
So basically, we have these like new influencer evangelists
Yes.
that maybe wear too much makeup, maybe wear more makeup than me.
Yeah, I will say on that regard, like the other people I could fucking take or leave, but I love Tammy Faye Baker. for,
Wait,
like,
she was
gay
the one that
people.
had that show though.
Yes,
And she's
she had-
famous televangelist.
She,
we're
made,
talking
she was,
about.
for the record, her husband specifically was laundering money, so that's why they had this giant show. But like the most successful show, like variety Christian show ever. The best thing during the height of the AIDS crisis, she had a gay preacher who was HIV positive on her show. Via video conference, she actually wanted to have him in the studio, but the producers wouldn't let someone with AIDS come into the studio.
Oh my god.
And she gave like a positive interview where she implored people to show love and compassion. If you really like look into her, she's probably one of the only televangelists and probably I would say only like religious public figures from Christianity I've ever seen who is like genuinely from the top to bottom a decent good person.
Yeah.
Like she was on the RuPaul show. She loved gay people. She really
Yeah.
she was
Well,
on
okay,
RuPaul's
She was,
VH1
she
show.
was such a good person. She was seen with RuPaul.
No, but
I know,
like,
I'm just
she
fucking-
kind
I
of
know.
was a little bit like a drag queen though, because her hair was so big and
She
she
was a drag queen.
wore the entire thing of she'd probably
Yes.
go through a full thing of mascara in one
Work,
sitting.
bitch.
But we just gotta love her. I guess
She was genuinely, honestly, like
she's a gay icon.
She is the only, like in any of these situations where someone's husband does something terrible and they're like, I had no idea. She's so sweet, naive, and from like fucking Wisconsin that like she's like the only person I'm like, yeah, she genuinely didn't know.
What do y'all think about these influencer evangelists? Like, how have they changed like from the old school televangelist? Is it better?
I
Is it
think-
worse?
I like it less because like at least with like the fucking is it the 700 Club or whatever is that Christian show
Yeah.
and stuff like that. At least it's like it has sort of like a formalness where it's like, well, we're a television show and we're going to be presenting you with the words of Christ, which I don't care for, but I respect that it's a TV show. These influencers, they're trying to get to you on like a personal level of like, hey, I'm just like hanging out. I'm just like you, except like I follow Jesus and whatnot. And it feels insidious. Like they're really trying to get to you.
No, what do I think about influencer evangelists? I think they need to get the fuck out of my DMs. She knows
Wait,
what I'm
they're
talking
in your
about.
DMs?
Nah, on occasion I'll get really religious. Military men really love being in my DMs.
I wonder why.
Yeah, no idea. No, I
Are
mean,
they
I
like
think,
like hitting you up to get with you, or like they
Yes.
want to?
yes.
Wait,
yes,
so they're
yes.
like follow Jesus, get with me, or
Yeah, they're like follow Jesus into my bedroom.
Into
no,
my-
they're
into
not.
my-
wait, they're like
urethra.
preachers
They're
that are
preachers.
reaching-
No, there's not. I don't have any pastors in my DMs currently. No, I mean, I think
Although
that
if any
like
preachers want to reach out, Sunny Laprade's Instagram will be linked.
yeah. I think that like I have no problem with religious people, but I think that the people who try to make money off of it are always doing it
Scummy.
off the back of some kind of
You know that-
bigotry, and
that-
that doesn't sit right.
There was
with
that
me.
televangelist. Maybe it was Joel Osteen or another guy, but like he was like
The guy with the island.
I was gonna say the guy with the private jet. There's a guy.
There's a bunch of them that
There's
have
a
private
bunch of them,
jets.
but there's
Okay,
one
let's
guy
be clear.
specifically. He asked his followers in this
Yeah,
church.
who was
he was
that?
specifically like, "It's God's will that I have a private jet."
I saw that. That was on like some like news interview or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
But like I think anytime you're mixing religion with money and the money isn't going to like, I don't know, making sure there's like graham crackers for fucking communion or whatever. I don't know anything about Christianity.
And they should be taxed.
I would have said oneg because that's what people eat before services in the Jewish faith. But anything that's like an excess of money in conjunction with religion is a red flag to me. It should be about your religion not making money. You shouldn't be making a profit. Where my Jewish background does, I think, actually come into relevance here when it comes to like proselytizing and whatnot, is that Jewish people do not believe in proselytizing to other people.
What's proselytizing?
Like trying
Is that
to
when you have sex
have
with
you ever
people
been
for money?
have you ever been to Broadway Junction? That's
It's proselytizing, meaning converting people. What you did, what
Okay.
your family did.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, so like I said, I grew up, I was a missionary for
Yes.
a couple years in high school.
Yeah.
And these missionary experiences, like they were very normal at the time for me.
I
Because
know.
as a kid, you're not like really aware that stuff might be a little bit strange.
Yeah.
But we would go to the poorest parts of the countries we visited.
The most vulnerable, easy to
Yeah.
manipulate people.
Like basically like one
In the
place,
world.
one place we went in Peru was like a factory town where everyone, like the only employer was this one factory.
Mm-hmm.
So they could barely get any wages, like enough to survive.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't really leave. They were in like such a vulnerable state, but we'd go and we'd like paint their houses and like pass out all these goods. So they would want to come and talk to us.
Yeah.
And we couldn't speak Spanish was the thing, even though
Yeah.
we had Texas educations. And so we had all these translators
You
and
should
stuff.
speak Spanish if you're in Texas.
And what we would do to like convey the word to them, we would do these like skits. And so they made me the devil. I wonder
oh
why.
my God.
But I loved.
This is
I
how
had
your
this, like,
comedy
black
career started.
cape, and I was like in all red, and we'd like do this dance to. Oh my God, what was it? It wasn't The Edge of 17, but what? Turn Around. What is that song?
Total
Turn
Eclipse of the Heart.
Around.
We would
Bonnie
do,
Tyler's Total Eclipse of the
not-
Heart.
That is not a joke. We did our evangelism using that song as we did like this like devil, like temptation, angel.
See, this is
like,
Kind of
This is
gay ass
grooming.
church.
I need,
This
to,
is
I need to
grooming.
find the videos.
They're doing drag shows for Peruvian children. They're grooming kids.
I loved it though. I had so much fun dressing up, and because they would all like scare the little kids. I don't know.
You're just this is
This is a weird part of mission work
what
that we did. But it actually,
Lutheran
that's the
missionaries
weird
are
part.
Lutheran missionaries are doing what Republicans think drag queens are doing.
Turn around.
I'm gonna find some pictures and include them on this podcast, but just
I will
to prove
say,
that it was real.
like specifically, Jewish people do not believe in converting anyone. We specifically actually don't want them. If you want to convert to Judaism, which for the record, don't.
You have to be a doctor. I heard.
You're so that's the
You
dumbest
need
thing.
a prescription.
That's not. Are you doing a joke?
Yeah.
Okay. You also said you didn't know what prostituting was.
Proselytizing.
No, we don't use that. We did not use that word in the Texas church.
They call it bringing people to heaven. But specifically, if you want to convert to Judaism, which please don't, once again, you go to the rabbi's door and knock, and they'll turn you away. Then you have to go back 3 times in total, and then they will consider starting to convert you. So I personally believe converting people to your religion is gross. Not all of it is predatory. I think a lot of religious people genuinely believe in heaven, and they genuinely believe they're like, well, I'm saving people because I know about heaven, and I need to get all these other people to come because I don't want people to burn in hell, and they really think that. And then there's other people who are doing it for selfish reasons. But I think if your religion is true, and it is the ultimate religion, and it's the truth about the world, I think if anything, people should be allowed to come to that religion, not be converted, personally.
Did you have any like weird looking back experiences like I kind of just shared with you about my missionary work?
No, not particularly. I will say, not to get too into the subject, but they did tell me a lot of stuff about Israel that I don't think is true now.
Like for example, just one.
Just we don't
We don't have to get canceled now.
No, I know, but like essentially, like growing up Jewish, like in America, like they all tell you Israel is your motherland, and that Jewish people have existed in that part of the world for a very long time. That being said, modern day Israel began in the 40s, and they don't really tell you that.
Younger than Joe Biden.
It's younger
maybe.
than Joe Biden. They do
I
not
didn't
tell
know
you.
that.
Yeah.
It was created after the
because like
Holocaust.
Israel's in the Bible though, right?
No,
Well, like-
the historical land of Israel is, but
Oh, okay.
in the same way that like the Native Americans called the United States something different. There were Jews in that part of the world, but they were Palestinian Jews. They just were Jews that lived in Palestine. It wasn't so much that I was lied to, it was more so that like they left out information and also framed the information as a good thing. Like if you're Jewish, like I'm Jewish, you get automatic citizenship to Israel, and they frame that as like a really cool thing.
Oh, wow. That is kind of cool, though.
It's not. It's
Okay.
very
Yeah.
bad because American Jews have more rights in that part of the world than Palestinians who are born there. And that's not good. And I didn't think about it at the time, but like, I think personally, really, that no country should be defined by one ethnic group or religion. And that's kind of what I think, like, not being serious, that's kind of what the American dream is. Like, it's a melting pot, and there's no national religion in America, and I think it should be that way for the entire world.
I think that's different depending, like, where I grew up. I grew up in the Bible Belt, so it
Yes.
very much does seem like they're very defensive. They
But-
try to have law, like the whole abortion
Yes.
thing, you know.
It isn't, but like for me, like the way I view America as, you know, a liberal New Yorker or whatever, I'm just like, I think we should allow everyone to exist. So, and to have any country defined by like a religion or whatever is, I think it's not great. But so
Well,
that's
thank
like
you
the
for
only-
sharing that, because
Yeah.
that's very controversial right now to say anything like that.
Yeah, it's just like,
you
it's,
know.
yeah, that is the one thing that I was like, I feel misinformed on growing up Jewish. I didn't even really think about any of that stuff until like this year.
Yeah,
Really?
I mean, like, I wasn't raised Jewish, but even then, like, the most education that I got on it was like, it's complicated. And
It's complicated?
Yeah,
And that's the
it's
thing.
complicated, and that
This
was like
is-
the most pro-Palestine viewpoint that you would get.
I feel like I was truly misinformed about the Middle East.
Yeah, I think that like even like I wasn't raised religious, but I went to like a public school in a very conservative part of the country. And so even in a public school, I feel like my life was, I'm going to say, tainted by Christianity because like I was in the advanced placement biology class. And even then our teacher in
professors.
public school brought up evolution by saying like, well, I know this is a controversial topic. And as a Christian, I'm not sure what I believe, but the state is telling me to teach this, so I'm going to teach it
Wow.
anyways. And like,
Well, at least you got that, because
Yeah.
in Texas we
They don't
got
teach it.
the reasons why global warming is not a thing, and we got creationism
so
in our
wild.
science
I'm glad
classes.
I grew up in New York.
I grew up in New York. I
I
got
know.
creationism in New York.
Yeah, but I grew up in a part of New York where people wear shoes.
Yeah, I didn't. You got me there. You got me there.
Oh my gosh.
No.
Well, you know, perhaps Jesus didn't always wear shoes. So,
He didn't. But
yeah,
it
maybe
is-
you're more holy than thou.
Thank you.
is- I will
Aw.
there is like a weird paradoxical thing about growing up in New York and with conservatism and whatnot, because there were a couple kids who grew up on a farm or something, and they would come to school wearing like Confederate flag shirts.
Yeah, there were kids that did that at my school. There was a kid
Oh,
who got a
gosh.
Confederate
like-
flag tattoo, and I'm
Yeah.
like, bitch, we
live in New York.
I'm also like, I
Sorry, I'm
was in a
screaming.
part of New York where I'm like, you can get to Canada so easy. Why are you
it's-
repping the South
It was-
right
it was
now?
true-
It's so, well,
it was
the
like
answer is
two,
racism.
2
but-
hours to Niagara Falls. Like, what
Yeah.
are you talking about?
Yeah, what the fuck are you on about? It's
It's
so
like-
crazy. It's like my teachers would come to school with like giant crosses, and like technically they weren't allowed to say stuff, but in moments they would always slip stuff in, and like I wasn't allowed to like talk about gay people and stuff. I wasn't even out
You
in
mean
high
demons?
school.
I went to a Christian school, and they actually had a class where they showed us a documentary about how conversion therapy works and why it was correct.
Jesus.
And they followed this like guy who used to be gay. He's like, I have a wife now. Look at her. She's a woman.
And whenever they bring
and
someone
that
out
wife,
like that,
me.
whenever they bring out that couple where it's like, I used to be gay, then I found this woman. It's always like the saddest, like looking like woman who's like clearly not being satisfied, and then the guy who's like,
That's any woman in
Well,
a straight relationship, honey.
well, yeah, yes. But then like a man who's like, we have so many interests in common. I love doing her hair. I love doing her makeup. We
love anal.
Yeah, something that straight couples famously love. I think that a lot of straight men could benefit from being on the receiving end of anal
Yeah,
at least once.
yeah. And
Okay.
Ashley's willing to do that. So please comment below.
If Jesus were alive today, would he be on social media? And if so, how many followers?
If Jesus were alive today, he would be a he/they with a dangly earring.
With
He
one
would-
dingly earring.
one dangly earring, and he would go to raves at $3 bill. He would work as like a tech person.
Okay, but would he be like an influencer? Like,
Totally. He would be like, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna be trying. Apparently, it's like my body. They're like these little crispy wafers, super yummy.
my body.
They pair well with wine. Which, fun fact, this red wine we're sponsored by today is actually my blood.
It's not Josh.
It's
Well, that's wait, what?
The wine.
Josh wine from
Josh.
Trader Joe's. It's like $4.
Oh,
I think that if
Let him
Jesus were alive today, he would have like a flip phone and be working at like a soup kitchen. But it's never the people that are on their phones recording the stuff that are actually doing the work. It's some like 45-year-old doll has no phone and like no money, and all she does is like work to help her community and has saved the lives of like half
Okay.
the people at the soup kitchen. Like that is who that is. I
You're
think
like
that
talking about
there's
Mother Teresa, kind of, yeah.
Right, yeah.
But
I
Jesus
guess.
was a carpenter, so I feel like if Jesus were alive today, he would be doing like thoughtography
IKEA reviews.
on Instagram. He'd be like cutting the wood like with his like
shirtless.
cut off like
Yeah.
just like close like, oh, this is just about carpentry, these videos,
Yeah, don't I know
Yeah, he
it?
could be like a little bit of a hottie patati on the gram. Hopefully have more than 12 followers this time around. We're all more famous than Jesus here.
Yep.
Well, you know,
That's a
Jesus,
good one.
You know,
That's a good
Jesus was
one.
cool because he dated a sex worker.
He dated a sex worker?
Yeah, Mary Magdalene.
Oh yeah, I need to go back and reread these stories. I was like, I think they kind of glossed over little things when I was in school.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
all
you
the
didn't
all
really-
the stuff where he was kind
They'd
to
be like,
people.
blah, 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 not
Did
explained.
did they date officially? No, but did she wash his feet? Yeah, which is that's like fifth base.
That's dating in Bushwick,
Dating
baby.
baby.
Ayo.
Wait, so my weirdest church experience was when we were on the mission trip. The girls, they would actually bring the prostitutes a bunch of makeup, and
Slay.
in order to like have them come and like get excited about Jesus. But now that I look back on that, I'm like, whoa, that's like a little strange. Like lipstick for Jesus.
Yeah.
They're just like, please pray next time you're sucking a dick.
I would become Christian for enough Sephora gift cards.
Enough Sephora gift cards. I don't know. I just look back on that. I'm like, well, that's like a little. I
Well,
don't
we
know.
can offer you eternal life in the land of heaven and a $50 Ulta gift
Yeah.
card.
Ultimately, we were like helping them, with their work.
Yeah.
You know?
But also like,
It's like we might have as well handed out like Jesus
Condoms,
condoms.
yeah.
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 but
What would a
condoms
Jesus
would be
condom say?
much better
Yeah.
because all the makeup is doing it's
That's-
enabling their
yeah.
career, but a condom would protect them.
A Jesus condom wouldn't work. It'd have too many nails in it.
Yeah.
Wait, but that's kind of. But like I feel like that would be a better idea if they had condoms that had Bible verses on it. Like, right?
Yeah.
On it. On
Then
it
they
is
would at
so
least like
funny.
have to read it.
Wait, it rubs off into the pussy like a
fruit roll-up?
roll up. Oh my god!
I don't know.
We got to stop the
Maybe
podcast.
we're okay. I think we need to copyright this idea.
Right, that's a
Oh my
$1 million
God.
idea.
Yeah. So we're all comedians here. Have y'all ever done any religious comedy or had like religious set ever?
I have not done religious comedy. I do comedy
I-
religiously. I just think that I have a very firm belief that in order for to be able to write a good joke about something, you have to have a really in-depth understanding of the material.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like I have enough of an
Yeah.
in-depth understanding about any aspect of religion to consistently talk about it on stage.
Yeah.
I love talking about religion on stage, but I think it's just because of my background where I was
yeah.
completely overloaded with the Bible and I had to study it for like literally every single day. Like we'd have religion class. And so I feel like my jokes are very smart. Like my favorite Jesus joke that I wrote was Jesus didn't turn water into wine. He was just the first to ever bring white wine to a party. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Are you still religious?
I don't like identify with any religion.
spiritual?
I am spiritual.
God damn it!
My answer to that is I don't think anyone knows what happens when we die until we die.
I know, but like,
Yeah.
I think it's just guessing. I more believe that we're all connected and that we're souls and that life continues on somehow, but I don't want to like force my beliefs on anyone because
Yeah.
no one
Yeah.
really knows.
Did you leave the church before or after you came out?
As transgender,
As anything, really.
I didn't leave the church until after because I never spent enough time like critically thinking about it. The big thing for me was like I thought like people from other religions were kind of crazy, and it wasn't until I had a gay friend they have to leave the Mormon church as soon as they come out. He was also a missionary, and I was like, wait, can you tell me about your beliefs? Because I was genuinely interested
Yeah.
in knowing. He told me about these like planets and aliens. And I was like, oh my God, y'all are crazy. I can't believe y'all would believe something like that. And then he just rattled off all these things from the Bible. He's like, Jesus walk on water, like parting the sea, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, wait, so I just called you crazy. And then you just like threw it back at me.
Yeah.
And then that was like the epiphany for me. I was like, wait a minute, like I'm crazy.
Yeah.
And then I just started to have like think twice about everything. And the big reason I left the church isn't only, because the LGBT stuff, but it's more just like the basic fundamentals that I disagree with. I don't want to go too much into, but I just think it's very kind of like fear-based where they're like, oh, I have the good news to tell you. By the way, if you don't believe it, like you're going to go to hell. But all you have to do is believe it. Like,
I believe the exact words are a lake of fire.
And I had a friend who was in a cult, like it was on CNN type thing, like a real cult.
What was it? A comedy class at? No, I'm not going to name any institutions.
No, it was one of those where they like went and like barricaded themselves somewhere. And he was a CNN
Swifties.
live news reporter, and so he brought them a lot of money, and it eventually like got sexual, like he got like raped, and he ended up getting HIV allegedly from just a BJ. Yeah, he had. I don't know.
That's so.
But anyway, I watched the special, and I was like, there's a lot of cult, like they're like, oh, this is like a fear-based cult, and I was like, wait, I kind of feel like my religion was fear-based because as a young kid, you're like, oh, I have to believe this, like the images they're showing, but. Even today, I'm like, we would draw like Jesus on the cross when we were very little, but I think that's a very violent. It's like drawing someone
a public execution.
I don't think that's appropriate for children, and I don't have children, but like,
they like in every like Catholic school they have a dead body hung up in the corner of every room.
Yeah, no, that's literally what I realized, and
wild.
It was all our lights are dying.
It's so funny to me that we have two trans women and a faggot being like, you know what I think is inappropriate for children? Jesus Christ.
But you guys want to know what the way, the truth, and the life is? Changing your gender.
It is.
Yes. You can't live, you can't be God, you can't be the Trinity until you've been multiple genders.
Oh my God, just like
I have been the Father, the Son, and the Holy
Ghost, baby. just like Sunny at a church, like having people kneel and go, "Body of Christ," and it's a Spyro tablet.
Wait, how do you know about that?
I have a lot of trans friends and also watch a lot of trans YouTubers. And is
that where it stops?
And also, I've been slowly taking medicine out of your purse.
Right.
You can just ask.
But it just keeps making me fatter. It doesn't do anything feminizing. I'm all boob now.
We've reached a point in our episode where we have to decide whether we think influencer evangelists are funny or not. Do we need them? Are they funny? What do you think, Ethan?
Yeah, I think it is funny. I think if you're like sitting down to make a YouTube video trying to get people on YouTube to believe in Jesus, that's hilarious. Get a better hobby, right?
Yeah. I think that religion should be a practice of humility, and I think there is nothing less humble than Instagram Live.
Yeah.
Even though I was the target of someone signing me up, possibly aggressively, I do have to say it's funny. I did have a good laugh. And, at the end of the day, that pastor was kind of cute. So I might give him a follow. Like, I don't know if you're a rich televangelist that doesn't pay taxes or influencer evangelist. Please get at me. I can think of a lot of things to do with those taxes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope we don't get a lot of hate from this episode, but
we definitely
Ethan,
will.
Where can people send you Bible verses?
Oh my God. Please, at my house in Brooklyn, my address is, You can find me on Instagram at efiller13 or efiller13. I help run a variety show every Wednesday at 9:30, Cuckoo's Open Mic. I don't know if you'll see this by the time it comes out, but Ashley Ryan will be headlining one of the future weeks in April, I believe April 10th.
April 10th.
Wednesday, 9:30.
My
it's
first
Soho
30
Playhouse.
minutes.
30 minutes. So please, it's only $5 if you want to see a lovely cabaret variety show. Please come. Please come out.
Yay.
I hope the light of Christ finds all of you.
I thought Jews don't believe in Christ, but...
I'm doing a bit.
Okay. Anyway,
God.
That's not your role today. Where can they find you?
You can send all of your hate mail to Haya Raychick. All of my tags are at libs of TikTok.
I don't mean to mansplain, but it's Chaya.
Is that not what I said?
No, you said Haya. You said
said
Haya.
Haya.
My bad.
You have
Okay.
to put the phlegm in there.
Okay.
Haya Ridge.
No, you can find me online at Sunny L Comedy across all platforms. Please, if you want to DM me to send me money, I will accept. I'm trying to sell a desk on Facebook Marketplace. So if you find me on Facebook,
Ooh.
please buy my desk.
Yes.
Buy
And
the desk.
if you want to find Ashley Ryan, she'll be in Peru dressed as Satan,
Oh
dancing in front of children.
No, you can find me, Ashley Ryan TV, on all platforms. Go to my Instagram, see what my next shows are. And you can also find me at Sephora returning Lady Gaga's new eye makeup because it's horrible.
Oh, it's horrible.
Damn.
It used to
God.
be great, but they redid it.
House Labs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fuck you, lady.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you turn away from God.
I know I'm no longer a monster. I do not identify. Thank y'all for watching The Funny Please. Tune in next time and we'll discuss something funny. I don't know, maybe send us ideas for topics you want us to talk about.